Hey everybody, it is Dr. Tamara with Pussycat Talk Podcast, and I have the beautiful, the amazing, the talented, and one of the most smartest people in the game, the credit game, Miss Ashley Marie Brown. Hey Ashley, Mia.
Hey, thank you for that lovely introduction. And first and foremost, I want to say thank you for allowing me and welcoming me to your awesome platform. So yes, like you said, my name is Ashley Marie Brown. I am your business funding coach. I also am an Airbnb host. I'm a Toro host. And so yeah, I do a little bit of everything, personal credit, business credit. And I'm also a master level prepared registered nurse by profession. So, yeah, so I have even right now, I'm currently I'm wearing so many different hats as of now, but I'm glad to be here and I'm glad to just share my story and tell you how I got to where I am today.
Awesome. So you know what it's like to take that dang on exam.
Yes.
Okay, for the Association of Medical Health Professionals. I was like, oh my God, that sucker was 200 questions. So, but I'm super glad you're with me today. Guys, we're going to make sure, we know a little something on the business, some on the personal, and then we got the, the little stuff. Okay. But this is from a totally different perspective, some fun stuff, just talking about women and men in the industry, but not so serious about what's going on either, So again, we already know, how you serve, and what you do, but where are you from?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Oakland, California, the Bay Area, in Northern California. Uh-huh.
Okay. So are you still in the Bay Area now?
I am.
Okay, great. So what made you decide to get into Airbnb? Why did you do that? Why did you decide to do that in Toro?
Actually, I always wanted to establish passive streams of income. Even prior to even getting into Airbnb and Toro, I had to really believe that it can happen for me. So it required me to do a mindset shift and believe that it can happen to me. And then once I shift my mindset, once I began to change my belief system, I literally tapped into this is what happened. I found someone in the Bay Area who was also a woman-based business, who was also an entrepreneur. And I seen that she was offering a turnkey Airbnb service. Yeah, I started following her, started looking at her content, started looking at exactly what she does, the services that she offered. And I'm like, you know what? This would be a great opportunity for me to be able to invest into a lucrative business. And literally, I'm hands off. So literally, I invested into a turnkey Airbnb. And she literally came in, she furnished the place, she set up the cleaning, she's literally everything from A through Z. So I didn't have to literally do anything. And that was my whole thing going into Airbnb. I was kind of hesitant at first, but when I found someone who could actually walk me and guide me through the process, then I'm like, you know what, I'm good to go. And like I said, sometimes people are reluctant because you look at the big picture, and when you sit there and you look at everything that you have to go through and all the moving pieces, it kind of hinders you from moving forward. And so when I found someone who would be able to walk me through the process, it was much easier. And that's what kind of made me just go head on and start that process with the Airbnb. But like I said, I had been thinking about starting it. But when I found that direct person to guide me through the process, that's literally when I just took off, right? Because I had someone by my side to walk me through the process. And right now, she still is my coach, my mentor. So.
Yeah, having a mentor is so important. And people think they can just jump into any kind of business and just think that they can just do it. And you need that guidance. We had a coach ourselves. Actually, we had several coaches over the last 5 years. And it was very important to the success of how our business was going. Just like with yours, you was like, okay, she's making sure you got everything that you need to make sure your business is successful. And it is for her to make sure that you are successful, because in case you may have referred somebody else to her, right? What I mean? Those things happen. So it's crazy, because we didn't get into the Airbnb thing. I had actual tenants, which was this was right when Katrina had happened. Now, if Airbnb was going on during the time Katrina was happening, a lot of folks would have got paid, right?
Right.
So it's just amazing how the concept. And then when I remember when Uber had came out, because they used to post ads on Craigslist, when Craigslist was popping. right? And look at Craigslist now. Look at Airbnb now. So Airbnb has been getting a rap of late, right? A bad rap of late. Of course, here in Atlanta, they don't even want Airbnb. They're trying to shut them down or give them fees and fines. Are they doing that in your area?
No, because in the state of California, I think it's a different atmosphere. It's a different client. Well, for me, I haven't really done the statistics, but just depending on the cost of living and how people are out here, like in Atlanta, my dad resides in Atlanta and I come to Atlanta, every so often, but I see that entrepreneurship, it's like really, everyone is an entrepreneur. But when you come to California, you have a different climate of people. Like this is like a working class. Everyone's 9 to 5. Everyone is busy, 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 busy. And so you have a different climate, a different culture of people. And when it comes to Airbnb, I just feel like people are so reluctant to get into it because the cost of living is so ridiculously high. And even right now, like I have my Airbnb luxury studio apartment. And the average, depending on, could start at $2,500 for like a studio.
For how long?
That's like a year.
But is that $2,500 rate for the month or you saying for the whole year?
For the month. No, monthly. The rate. Okay. When you get into the Airbnb and you see how the rates are, the utilities, everything adds up. And so, I don't know, I feel like it's a different culture here. Like California, everybody is not entrepreneur like minded. And I feel like the Airbnb like space is not, I don't know, it may not be saturated like it is in Atlanta. So
it has pretty saturated. This is a popular place. I mean, it would be off the chain if they had water. If they had water, oh my God. Okay, it would be crazy. But yeah, the city of Atlanta, they wanted their money because it was taken away from the hospitality industry, from the hotels. So the hotels were complaining, because they weren't as busy. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody was Airbnb. Preferably when I go out of town, I want to be in a hotel because I want to be able to go down. So I ain't going on vacation. Okay, I'm not doing that. So did you pivot and go into Toro?
Yeah, so I actually originally purchased 2 vehicles in my business name. And how I initially did it is I shipped both vehicles out to someone who had a private rental car fleet in the state of Texas, right? So
wow.
Yes. So once I purchased the vehicles, like again, with his guidance, he told me like, if I were you, I would get 2 economy vehicles. So I wound up getting a Nissan Altima and then I think a Maxima. Yeah. So I got those 2 and I shipped those out. And then for a few months, we were doing a profit split. Everything was going well. But I think something happened like within some months and I decided to have one of my vehicles shipped here. So now he currently still has a vehicle. We still did the profit split, but I have my vehicle here. And so I listed my vehicle on Toro. And maybe that was about vehicle like maybe in February. Yeah, so now I listed on Toro and I get bookings come in all the time. So it's never an issue where, I don't get any bookings. Like I said, in the state of California, everybody here is like just very work oriented, do what they have to do. So economy vehicles do well in the state of California, depending on where you are.
They do well everywhere, to be quite honest. I know somebody right now here in Georgia, one of our mentees, they actually got her daughter, 19 years old, got 2 cars. We got her 2 cars. Yes, girl. Her credit was on point at 19 because she used to work on a cruise ship from 17 on. She was an entertainer on the cruise ship. And so she was making like $90,000 a year.
Wow.
And her credit was A1. So she had already had her business in place. And so I said, okay, let's go. I actually have it on my Instagram. Yeah, we got 2 cars for her. And she got 1 on Airbnb that covers the expenses. Okay. It covers her car insurance. It covers for both cars because they're economy cars.
Yeah.
Well, one of them was a SUV and the other one, and they were Kias, and the other one was the car as Kia. And so that one car, she makes profit, covers her insurance, and covers both of her car notes. And it's an economy car. I'm still contemplating doing. My son is talking about doing it. So you don't have to give us real pointers, okay? You have to give us some pointers. Right?
Yes. But you know what? Although I do have those vehicles, if I was to do it again, I would get cash vehicles. I went to Bank of America and I got those loans to get those vehicles. But I noticed that the interest rate is very high as well in comparison to like other banks or credit unions you can go to get the auto loans. But in addition to the car insurance, the car notes, And, all that stuff adds up. So recently, I have my vehicles all together under my Geico insurance. And just recently, I guess due to inflation, my car insurance, I went up like an additional $100. And I'm just like, why a sudden increase? So what I did was I actually I have my vehicle. I think it's American Business Insurance. So it's different insurance companies out there that you can obtain different insurance when you're on different platforms like Toro, hire a car and things of that nature. So you don't have to really pay a lot for car insurance as if you was to go with like Liberty Mutual, Geico, Progressive.
So are you making money in Toro and the Airbnb business?
Yes, I'm making money, but I am making money. My overhead expenses are a lot. Like I have to make sure that whatever I set my daily rate is, that I'm also making a profit. Because for a long time, I think I had my rate at like $60 and I seen that I wasn't getting bookings. So once I dropped it down to like about in the 50s, that's when I started getting really booking. So you have to look at where you are, like what's the rate going for the vehicle that you have, because you want to be, competitive too at the same time.
Okay. That's some great pointers. You have to understand your market. Mm-hmm. And you have to make sure you're giving a competitive rate so you can always stay booked and busy. So, how many days would you say out of the month that your Turo is booked?
Maybe about 20 days.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's what she said. Well, actually, she's renting hers for about $90 a day. Yeah, she's renting hers.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's $90 a day. She will do one or the other, the SUV or the car. Is what So when you look at that, that's $2,700, in 30 days, or 18. And that's why she said, I only did it to make sure I don't have to pay for a car. And I just thought that was pretty smart. She said, I need a new car. She said, I need a car, period, but I want it to be new. I don't want to use. And I want it to cover itself. She said, I don't make any money. I'm fine with it. I just don't want to pay for it. And I just thought that was a really cool thing. So she says she makes about $400 to $500 after everything is cleared, after both car notes are done and the insurance. I just think that's pretty smart. So I just think that.
Is the SUV at $90 a day, and then the Kia she has?
Yeah, the Kia Sorento, I think is what it was. The car is a sedan.
Oh, okay.
The sedan. It's not the small one, a mid-sized one. So I just know she'd be booked. And I was just like, wow, I just thought it was great. I was very happy because I was proud. Like, man, she's 19, making $90,000 a year.
That's good. That's really good.
But she's just smart. She's smart. So let me ask you this. So are you still nursing?
I do nursing as well. I'm part-time with nursing. So
you're just busy.
I am. I do a lot. I told myself, you know what? I'm really going to take this weekend to really gain clarity on exactly what I want to put my focus in and what business I really want to maximize. Because I am doing a lot. And I don't want to spread myself too thin. Yesterday, I was talking to my coach. She was like, whatever business you have, don't try to dive into another business. Whatever business you have, focus on maximizing that business. And I'm like, yeah. She was like, create more additional income streams with that business. So even if it comes to like listing your Airbnb on like Pure Space, and that's another thing too. It's like when you maximize like the Airbnb, my Airbnb is just not on the Airbnb booking website. I'm on Verbal. I'm on booking.com. Just recently integrated to Google Vacations. I have to go through a waiting period for them to approve it. But like, that's the way how you want to do it. You just don't want to be. And then also I just recently have a website developer created me a direct booking website. So I'm like finding multiple ways, not just on Airbnb, but like also like increasing like the value of my property and listing it on different sites, not just Airbnb.
I didn't even know about Google Travel, unless that's something when you go on and you just see all the bookings. But I didn't know that was part of the travel part. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. So how's your love life? You doing all this stuff? So how's your love life? How you getting it in?
No, I'm all gas, no brakes. And right now, you know what? At first, I was like, I'm a single mom, but I get my hustle on. I get my hustle, and that right there, I feel like sometimes that's going to, like, I'm in my season where I have to win. I have to situate myself where I'm generating passive streams of income. You know what I'm saying? So that's my focus right now. But when things slow down, I'm gonna tap back into the whole dating scene, but right now I need to make sure I lock this down.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hold on. We're talking reality right now, Ashley.
I'm sweating over here. I'm sweating.
Oh, wait a minute. So let me get Kitty real quick. Let me get Kitty so I can just be ready for you. All right. Now, look, you saying no how, no date, no nothing? Because, no, ma'am. How y'all doing it? I don't get that. I ain't saying you got to settle. Chris Rock stage back in the day, he said, the women always have a break open glass just in case. So you saying you don't have a break open glass just in case, just sitting on the side that you on straight and narrow, right? I don't let that deter my grind. But you still got to release and repress at some point, right?
Yes, yeah, you do.
All that work and no play, sometimes when you're so focused, you forget, right? Sometimes you have to, in order for something to kind of manifest, you have to take a break for a second so you can recharge. And I'm not talking just about just being with, someone. I'm just talking about in general. Like you said, you're going to, all fun and games, right? So I can take Kitty off. All right. All fun and games. All right. All fun and games. But at some point, what do you do for relaxation? Like you said you've been all gas, no breaks, right?
Yeah.
How are you taking care of yourself? What is your, rest and relaxation time? What exactly do you do for fun?
I have a morning routine, which allows me to stay grounded. And I kind of consider self-care. So prior to my kids, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours up early, I pray, I do my positive affirmations, some type of physical fitness, and then I'm reading something, right? And that's just to help me stay grounded and set the tone of my day. But as far as having fun and things of that nature, maybe getting with my sister and going out, or maybe, getting together with my mentor. We do content, just stuff like that. We're still having fun, but we're being productive at the same time. And sometimes we do that. But outside of that, I'm not partying. I do lounges and things of that nature. But like I said, my circle, everybody that I know, everybody's grinding. So it's just so we schedule our time and do different things.
We're in Atlanta, so it's like everybody on their grind,
But
right?
That's different too. In Atlanta, it's a whole different culture. And that's why my dad, I love coming to Atlanta. I love the culture. I just love everything about Atlanta. And it's just so open. And, you have open-minded people. You have so many different entrepreneurs. So the doors are open. The windows of opportunity are there. But in California, everybody's so go to the job, go home, attend to the kids. It's like that. It's just different in California. It's different. In comparison to down south, it's really different.
It is totally different. I definitely will say, being from Chicago is different. I've been here about 30 years. So, the Black Mecca, as they say, and everybody is about, but then you got them fakers too, fake it till you make it situations, it's quite interesting, and trying to make sure you're staying grounded. So let me ask you that. How do you stay grounded being successful at what you do?
How I stay grounded is that every single day I undergo mental conditioning. So if that means that I'm listening to an impactful and influential leader, maybe Jim Rohn, I'm constantly listening to Myron Golden, Les Brown. Yeah.
I love
yes.
Jim Rohn, but Myron was my first mentor.
Really?
20 years ago.
Wow.
I have his cassette tapes. Okay.
Really?
His VHS cassette and his first book. It's crazy. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
no, go ahead.
To see him now, right? You see him now, but to see him back then, it was almost like he was a door salesman. It's crazy.
Wow. And I love him. I love how transparent he is. I love the fact that he teaches from a biblical perspective. I just love everything about that man. The way he teaches how to become successful is so easy. It's not hard.
He can persuade you to do something, even if you don't want to do it. It's almost like he hypnotizes you. Yeah. But he makes it make sense. He makes it make sense. What are your next steps for you and your children?
Yes. So right now, I am positioning my children by the time that they're 18 that they'll be millionaires. And, outside of that, so outside of the businesses, everything that I do, really instilling the morals, the values into my children, teaching them about credit, teaching them about how to leverage to generate, passive streams of income. So for instance, I was a part of Mailbox Millionaire Academy with Ramel. And just this January, I had acquired an IUL policy. So, funded my IUL policy, borrowed against that, but my money is still, I'm still getting interest as if I never touched the money. Also obtaining an IUL policy for my children, right? So that's something that I'm doing as of right now in order to put them in position to literally win. And I tell my family this all the time, my cousins with children, my sister with children, you need to start investing into your children now. Open up these IUL policies for your children. Start building out. Like what I'm doing now, my daughter is 9. So also passing down, teaching her, because she's at the age where she's able to understand how credit works. When I tell her, what's the asset, what's the liability, teaching them those, what encompasses financial literacy and what do you need to know, at your age. And so that's what I'm currently doing now. I feel like I really want to continue build out my legacy. And a part of that is also me continuously learning how to do so. So I'm continuously educating myself in order to pour into my children and create that legacy that I want to create. And then also, having the trust and things of that nature. So I'm pretty aware of all that.
I can honestly say that our thing was go to college, get a degree.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
We really honestly didn't talk about credit except for just pay your bills on time.
Exactly.
And I think that's one of the reasons why our community is kind of just like behind, right? It's like we're catching up, but then they're trying to change the game. Right? Change the game for us. And it's like, if we knew to not put our money in a 401k and to put it into an IUL, be $8 million right now off of that, had it been going into an IUL as opposed to a 401k. And so it's just that we need to start getting smart, making sure, like you said, your kids are going to be okay. And can you imagine a lot of people that don't know about that?
I know.
There's a lot of people that still don't know.
I know.
So you talk about credit and funding. What kind of funding are you getting? I heard you got your cars under your business name. Can you, I know the thing, but how do people get their cars under their business name?
Yeah. So what you have to ensure is that when your personal credit profile meets all the data points, when you have like a 680 or higher credit score, no negative items, 10 plus accounts, because basically you want to structure your personal credit to where you're able to leverage it, to use it to get funding, to use your personal credit to get access to these auto loans. So once your personal credit is in position, and then you have a properly structured business that's bank compliant. I mean, when you have like a website, a business phone number, a business address, not a PO box, you can have a virtual business address, but just keep in mind that when you are applying for credit and lines of credit, things of that nature, they're going to look up your business. And if they see it's not a brick and mortar and a PO box, that's an instant denial. So there are some, like Regis is a company that you can go to and they have a brick and mortar business, but you just have a PO box within that business. So just ensuring that you have a properly structured business, and then, data points, and you can literally apply for auto loans in your business name. So how I did it via phone. So I spoke with a business rep. I gave her all my business information and my social and things of that nature, and then making sure that, so when she asked me everything about my business, everything on my personal side, like how much my business is going to make. And when they ask you, like even on applications, when they ask you the gross annual income of your business, make sure that you can just put a projected amount. Right. And then also asked me about my personal. And then once she did that, she submitted the application. And then keep in mind, too, when you're applying for an auto loan Bank of America, you can apply up to 4 auto loans in your business name per LLC. Right. And so I literally did that over the phone. And then as I'm on the phone, the application went through. Someone was calling on the other line. I get a call on the other line saying, oh, you've been approved for, this amount. So that's kind of how I did it. And like literally, I just had a call last night where I was a guest speaker, literally teaching women how to properly structure their credit and structure the business in order to get funding and get, loans auto loans under their business name. But one of the things I would tell you is that you really have to be careful sometimes, because when you take the auto loan to the dealership, sometimes by default, sometimes they ask you for your social. And it could be that, yes, they will put that because they get benefits of them for putting your social. Yes, they get, so putting the vehicle in your business name. Yeah. So
they don't want us to come into the dealership with money. They don't. No. They want you to run your Social Security so they can get that kickback from all these places to get and people don't know, like,
Yes.
you did amazing. You were able to get it under your business. But people don't know that they can just contact their bank and apply online and then take a check to the dealership and say, I want it off the rack. I want the price off the rack. Mm-hmm. I don't, no commission, because, they be trying to get their down payment, which you shouldn't be paying for. Yeah. And then, like I said, they be trying to run your stuff. So it's just like, it's crazy. But again, we don't know this. And they always trying to force a used car on people. Yes.
And all this is very true. And that's when the power of mentorship and having a coach, that's why it's so vital and key. Because, you're aware of essentially what they're trying to do when you walk to the dealership. You know what to expect. You know how to respond to how they, what they try to throw on you. So I think that's important. So that's kind of how I was able to get those vehicles in my business.
What credentials did you have to say? Because I want my car under my business. So what credentials did you have to give them in order to put your car under your business name?
Yeah. So like I said, I did everything literally over the phone. So when I have to give them any credentials, the only thing I had to give them when I went to the dealership was a pre-approval letter from Bank of America. That's all I had to give them.
That's crazy. Yeah, so you said something that's important that I will definitely want everybody to know. You said that they tried to run your social. So what did you do when you told them, no, you can't run my social? What exactly did you tell them?
Like I said, I have an approval letter right here from Bank of America where it literally states that Lavish Solutions, that's my business name, that I'm putting this vehicle in Lavish Solutions. However, I am the one that's leveraging my personal credit by doing this. I had to ensure what I went through to get them to understand that it goes in my business name was just something that nobody wants to go through that process, but they're so consistent and so adamant on putting that vehicle in your business, and you have to really be on top of them. So I had to sit with him side by side, ensure. So a part of that, he had to go to the Secretary of State website to verify my business. He was doing all these additional steps when you didn't even have to do it because I'm already taking the approval to you. But you want to verify my business. You literally don't want me to have the vehicle in my business name. So you're going through all these. It's just unnecessary. Correct. Yeah. So you just have to really be careful, and you have to really, really be stern and stand on business. No, this is going into my business. This is going into my business. Because they were really trying to finesse you and put your car.
Don't be trying to put it under my social.
They were trying to finesse you and put your car in your personal. So you really have to be on top of it. Yeah,
it's all a trap. It's all a trap.
They don't want you to win.
They don't want you to win. And if everybody knew that they can put their car under their business name, and then of course the business ends up going under the trust, and you can give the trust the vehicle. Okay.
Yes.
And not only are we getting tax breaks for it being a business vehicle, but then you're getting tax breaks for it being a gift to your dang on trust. So it's we got to wake up so we can have an understanding about what's really going on. Okay.
Exactly.
Before they continue to make all these changes, right, Ashley?
Exactly.
That's a whole nother level of protection, right? And it's as we've been in this game for the last 7 years, it's we started with the trading, and then it just, envelope, because we were like, why are you guys using your bill money to trade with? And what's really going on? So it's just been an enlightening situation. And that's how we came across with you, because it's we're in the same, community. Yes. It's hey, Ashley, so, hey girl, let's get on a podcast together. So it's been great, because you said something that was important too. It's you don't really have time for the club scene, because our mind state is such in a different area. And it's sometimes when we're having conversations with people that's not in the same mental state, it's what are you saying? It's the whole, I don't have time for this. I know that may sound mean.
No, but it's very true.
I just don't have time for just stupid conversation. Now, I'll get on my podcast and I'll talk about what's going on with Diddy. And everything like that. Do on YouTube, but on my YouTube channel for PKT Podcast. But for the most part, it's hey, okay, so outside of doing that, what we doing over here? I mean, and that's why I said there has to be a level of balance of release. And what are you doing to release? Because sometimes those ideas come from you relaxing,
right?
Just sitting and just writing and just, doing those type of things.
Thank you for the reminder, because that's true.
No battery operated, okay? No.
That's true. That's true.
We can still be us, still be feminine, still be strong, still be all of that, and still be like, hey, because anytime I hear youngins say, I don't need a man, I'll be like, oh, okay. You ain't gonna ever hear us Generation X say no stuff like that. That's the millennials. And what's the other one's called?
Centennial? I do not know.
Wait. Here it is. Generation Z. So you're a millennial. Yeah, it's Generation Z, and then it's Generation Alpha. So you're a millennial though. But y'all still be acting up. I be like, what is going on? I mean, I don't understand. I'm like, y'all be outside with all the stomach out and stuff. I'm like, I love positivity too, but I'm not finna walk outside with my stomach out like that. I don't get that. Ashley, can you explain that? I mean, I believe in body. Yes, but can you explain that?
I don't know. I feel like now it's a whole new culture, a whole new wave. And so now everybody's like embracing like, their body. And I guess what that means for them, I guess everyone has a different belief when it comes to like embracing themselves. So they feel like they can go outside and look like, however they want to look like and not be judged, because everybody's like, embrace yourself, love yourself, So I think when you operate with that mindset and that belief system, you literally, you're just going to do things that the average person is not really going to do or think about, because you have that mindset. So I don't know.
I mean, you cool with the hands on your knees. I was just like, I'm a Megan Thee Stallion fan, okay? But I'm talking about, what's that other one called? Sexy Red?
Yes. Yes.
Hands on your knees. I was like, okay, they got the dang on daycare kids saying hands on your knees. I thought, what happened to ABC 1, 2, 3? They singing hands on your knees. Okay.
That's sad. That's sad.
Okay. I'm just like, you got a 3-year-old, a 9-year-old. Did the 9-year-old baby be saying hands on your knees?
No, we don't listen to that. No, we do not listen to that. We listen to podcasts in the car, and I'm so serious.
And that's what I mean.
Yeah,
for freedom of speech. But I'm just like, man, there's a place and a time for everything, right?
I know, but like, why would you manufacture a song like it's just, I don't know. I just pray for those young mothers and that allow their kids to cuss and allow them to do certain things. I'm just not with that stuff. I'm not with that.
So how hard is it being a single parent?
You know what? It can be challenging at times. You get overwhelmed. You get frustrated at times. But then at the same time, I just thank God that I'm in a position that I'm in. There's a lot of, because I was in a position about 3 years ago, living in my mom 1-bedroom apartment, undergoing postpartum depression after having my son. Now where I am, to have what I have and to be in a position where, I do, work as a nurse, but that's only 2 days a week. Outside of that, I'm with my children. You know what I'm saying? And so having the flexibility to be with my children and then having the option to choose if I want to work and choose, like I had options. So for me, it's not in a sort like so challenging, like in comparison to someone who doesn't have the knowledge that I have. And that's not a position and that's not just a boost and brag. That's just literally the saying that, like I said, I had to undergo a mindset shift to even be where I am right now. And so, and that's why, in my business, I really focus on like really helping women, because I know how hard it was and how challenging it was after having my son. So, helping women and putting them in a position to win with children, because it's extremely challenging at times, especially when you don't have no support. You know what I'm saying?
And that was going to be my closing question. Like, what would be the one message that you would want to give other single moms, or even single dads for that matter? Because there are a lot of dads that are, single parent also. What is the one biggest takeaway? What is the one biggest nugget that you can give them to say, hey, you can get through it and you can start a business while you're working your job? What would you suggest?
I would say that your current circumstances is not your final destination. I would say that wherever you are right now, you can literally change your life. All it requires you to do is have a mindset shift. You have to have a mindset shift. once you shift your mindset, because for me, there was a lot of self-doubt. There was a lot of, just really negative related emotions. And when I was able to overcome that, I really stepped into my greatness. So by me literally shifting my mindset from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset and understanding that whatever I want in this world desires me as well, you can literally change your life. I think that we get so bombarded and inundated with the day-to-day tasks. And not only that, social media, the news, you have to understand that you have to tap out of that. You have to literally tap out of that. Like social media is a tool that you use to grow and scale your business. It's not something because what I found myself doing too all the time, I was comparing myself to other people. You cannot do that. You can't do that. And so, even though I was depressed in that time, I was determined. Like I had a vision for my life and my children.
You can't be on social media all the time.
You can't be on social media all the time.
Because you're trying to deal with the kids. So you're going to be on social media with the kids? I mean, and so what are you teaching them? That you always in your phone? Like, that's not good. They need to know that there's a level of balance between you and the kids so they can learn how to have a conversation. That's the one thing that I noticed. Folks don't know how to have a conversation. See, that's, you know what I'm saying? Because they feel like their communication is with the phone.
Exactly.
Well, guys, we have to say it was an amazing interview with Ashley Marie Brown, who is superwoman, super mom, super business owner, super nurse. What are your closing thoughts for today?
Yes, my closing thoughts. I just really want to inspire anyone that may be going through something or feel like, you're in a situation where you can't come out of. Are you feeling overwhelmed or frustrated? Just understand that, just take a breather and understand that abundance is your birthright. And one of the things that I feel like a lot of people should do is you should be really clear on the vision for your life. And one of the things that my coach has said is that the vision for your life will create the discipline for your life. So when you write down your vision, once you write down your vision, you'll be able to decipher what you need to do in order to make that vision come into fruition. So, like I listened to Steve Harvey, and I think it's Habakkuk 2:2. It says, write the vision down. I don't remember it, but essentially what he was saying is that, write the vision. Exactly. So when you write the vision and make it plain, he said, those who come, or I forget the word, but basically you want to write the vision. And then once you write the vision, just the universe will just come like you will start to see things. Just
it aligns itself.
Yes, exactly. So I think that would be the first step, is just writing the vision and understand that your current circumstances is not your final destination. And you just literally have to believe in yourself, like really work on your belief system, really undergo mental conditioning every single day. So you're programming your mind for success. Because that's what I've done. It has helped me tremendously when it comes to, funding different, business adventures and things like that. And so I think when you operate from that mindset, things will definitely begin to change from you and see your life transform in miraculous ways. And yeah.
Guys, you heard it from Ashley Marie.
Yes.
So Ashley, thank you so much for joining us. Let everybody know how they can reach you.
Yes, so you can follow me on Instagram at ashleymarie.com. That's ASHLEYMARIIE. Brown is in the color. I'm also Ashley Marie Brown on Facebook. Again, Ashley Marie IIE Brown. So yeah, if you want to tap in, feel free to send me a DM. If you have any questions or anything of that nature, feel free to tap in with me.
Thank you so much, Ashley, for joining us. I know I've kind of put you on the little hot plate real quick. You was turning red, but it's all in fun. We have a lot of fun over here. So guys, this is Dr. Tamara with Pussycat Talk Podcast. We will be back with another episode. Thank you so much for joining. Meow. See you next time.
Meow.